we want to solve the equation 4x squared plus 1 equals 8x. We're going to use the quadratic formula. Which means that we need to get this equation into standard form. So we're going to have 4x squared minus 8x plus 1 equals 0. So we recognize A as being 4, B is negative 8, C is 1. Again, the quadratic formula. Write it down. X is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So x is equal to, let's see, what is negative b? If b is negative 8, negative b is 8. B squared is 64. So we have 64 minus 4ac. A is 4 and c is 1. 2 times a, that's going to be 2 times 4. So we're going to have to simplify the radicand again. Use your order of operations. What we end up with is 64 minus 16, which is 48. So right now we have x is equal to 8 plus or minus the square root of 48 all over 8. Those are the values of x. Now, we're not finished yet because this can be simplified. Notice that the square root of 48 is the same as the square root of 16 times 3. I wrote it this way because 16 is the largest perfect square that is a factor of 48. Now, using the multiplication property of radicals, I can write this as 4 times the square root of 3. So I'm going to replace the square root of 48 with 4 times the square root of 3 because that is simplified. So I have x is equal to 8 plus or minus 4 times the square root of 3 all over 8. So we simplified a little bit, but we can actually simplify even more. What I can do at this moment is divide the numerator and the denominator by 4. I can take a 4 out of all 3 of these things. And when we do that, make sure when you do the simplification, make sure, if you're dividing, divide everything by whatever it is that you're dividing by, which in this case is 4. So I would end up with x is equal to 2 plus or minus the square root of 3 all over 2. We cannot simplify any further. So we actually have 2 values of x that satisfy the original equation. They are 2 plus the square root of 3 over 2 and 2 minus the square root of 3 all over 2. So as we did in the previous problems, we could write our answer as a solution set. So what we're doing is we're listing the values of x that satisfy the original equation. Those values of x are 2 plus the square root of 3 over 2 and 2 minus the square root of 3 over 2. So again, the original equation, 4x squared plus 1 equals 8x. We get the equation into standard form. Use the quadratic formula. Simplify. And we get our solution, and we write our answer as a solution set.